Hey everybody, this is a video on comparing the most popular software book reading platforms. We'll be comparing between Manning, Packt, and O'Reilly, and we'll be comparing it on a specific set of parameters. We've got six parameters here. So we've got pricing, user interface, book discovery, accessibility, breadth of topics, and content depth. So let's just try and see what we'll do here. So I've got a tier list here, and we've got three icons of the platforms that we'll be comparing. We've got Manning, Packt, and O'Reilly, and we'll just arrange them in some order depending for each of the parameters. And that's what we'll do today. So there are other platforms too. So right, you can read on Scribd, and there you can read on, I guess, Kindle and stuff. But we'll just compare these three today because I feel like these are the most three popular. So let's just look at the pricing of it. So for each platform, let's just look at the pricing. So I've got open here each of them. So we've got Manning first here. And let's look at the one. We'll look in the personal plans right now, the team or enterprise plans, because as an individual reader, we kind of need to know that what's the cheapest option that we can start with. So we've got Manning here, which starts at monthly of $20, and I do think they have some offers now, but $20 is the price for all the Manning books, including MEAPs. That's the early edition, and if you want some additional videos, live projects, that's $25. But for book, we'll just stick on to book, and we can see that there's $20 is the starting point, and that's, I wouldn't say it's like very expensive, but $20 with the amount of books that I give, with the amount of platform they have, I think $20 is okay, right? And let's move on to Packed here, and let's see, look at the pricing. So I just scroll down. So they've got also $20, and they've got, but for the $20 you get everything. You got 7,000 plus books, ebooks, or sorry, the video courses and stuff, and you got some personalized content suggestions, everything. But so that's what you pay, right? So you pay $20. I do think they do have like a sign up bonus or something. Yeah, but yeah, $20 is the pricing. So, and let's look at this. Let's look at O'Reilly. So O'Reilly is actually priced on the higher end. So they've set it at $49, which is kind of expensive for an individual plan. Um, Especially comparing to Manning and subscription with the range of books they have. So $50 is kind of costly. And so if you were to put down the tier list, let's just put Manning on S and Packed on S, and obviously O'Reilly with $50. I just put it at B, right? Because $50 is a lot. 35-ish maybe kind of reasonable, but $50 if you don't have sponsorship or if you don't have access to a library via library access something, is kind of expensive. So let's just clear the images and clear raw images. Okay. So let's just go back and look in the second parameter, which is the user interface. And this is going to be more of a me recommendation or what I've used. And my ordering would be Manning on would be first. I'd put Packed second and O'Reilly as third, right? Because of the three, I've used all three platforms, right? And I currently, my personal subscription is on Manning now. I've stuck to Manning now for a bit now. So um Manning is actually very clean. He has a very clean user interface. The search feature, though, is not really good, right? If you search, it often hangs, right? So you kind of have to be cheeky with there. But Pact is also good. Pact, guess, I'm only sticking to web interfaces, not mobile interfaces. So Manning's obviously has a really good interface in mobile and web. It's very clean, very minimal. You have a very really minimalistic experience. Pact, good though, is was not better than Manning, I would say. And O'Reilly, I've seen like the one that I took the subscription, had to kind of return the subscription like very fast because um I did not like the user interface. Right, it was extremely difficult and very bloated, to be honest. And that's the ordering there, right? Just my personal experience, right? Doesn't have to be the same for all. And let's clear that. Let's go to another parameter that will be book discovery. For book discovery, I would say in terms of how easy it is to kind of search and get through, I would say O'Reilly would be good at that, right? I'll just okay, they've got new there, which I'll just remove. So delete row. Okay, so O'Reilly has actually got a good. I'll put an A. And so recently I've been using Pact of Manning, and Manning I'll just put it first because you just search for a keyword and it gives you the kind of all the occurrences in that book. let's just put it at A here because oftentimes the search feature does not work very well. And I think I think we're gonna all have to put this at A, right? Because most of them have almost the same feature, and yeah, that's pretty much it on the search book discovery feature. Let's go like that, and let's go to the next, which is accessibility. Accessibility in terms of like how accessible it is from mobile and web. What I would say is I'm gonna have to give Manning first of that, right? And then Packed and O'Reilly would be A. The reason I like Manning is because you know that once you sign up and then the reset feature on that is really good, as in every time you log in it goes back to the book that you're reading, and then like it has a very minimal front end interface, and that's why I really like Manning, right? It doesn't have to be the same for all, right? Pact does have a good enough interface. I won't say O'Reilly, like the interface wise it's not that good, and like access of accessing from a mobile, I'm not sure, like I did not like the experience too much, and so like this would be the ordering. Let's see. And we've got breadth of topics, right? Now this is where obviously Pack shines. It's got enormous amount of books, and I would say O'Reilly would obviously come second, and Manning would be last. The reason is Manning has very limited amount of books. Obviously, the books are good and good. The content is good, but the content range or what the range of books is less compared to Manning and O'Reilly, I guess. And then Manning O'Reilly has like very the topics that you wouldn't usually find. O'Reilly has it, right? Especially the newer topics. I think O'Reilly promotes authors to kind of get I talked to a book author and say O'Reilly's the one that contacted about and very excited about the newest topics in AI and stuff. So I just put Pact and O'Reilly there and Manning at the last. And let's clear the rows. Okay, and the last one would be content depth. So in terms of content depth, I would say O'Reilly has to be on top and Manning and then Pact because Pact's kind of like an application level kind of book where where you focus on writing the code and stuff. O'Reilly is more of like has both, I guess, in terms of like AI books, like deep learning books. You do have both the technical part and the theoretical part of it, and Manning stands in between, having both. But fact, what I've seen is less of kind of theory. It has more of the software practical, right? Just write code. It's obviously good, but the content depth, I would say O'Reilly stands on top, and then Manning, and then Pact. And this is my tier list. And just to kind of point out, I use Manning now. The subscription that I currently own is Manning, and yeah, I mean, no, no special kind of um, love for Manning there. Just for me, I feel like the content range and the user interface is what made me choose Manning. And yeah, that's all for this video. Thank you for watching.